Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We are on stage 7 of the new event stages, and this one is hard. This one took me a long time, a lot of frustration, and I did not enjoy it. But eventually, I came up with this team to beat it. It wasn't too terrible, but it definitely wasn't easy. Now, there are some substitutions. Honestly, a lot of these Legos can be swapped out, but this is the team that I use, and I'm going to share, and I'm going to try to explain the stage as best I can so you guys can beat it too. Now, going into it, we can see that only 2 people on test server. By the way, it'll be out by the time I release this video. 2 people have beaten it, and one of those Evil Planet, who is either a Ukrainian content creator or Russian. Either way, this was really impressive, but I really wanted to avoid using Eliza, which meant that I had to use Hatsit. Hatsit, Eliza, Alora, and I think potentially Vargas are pretty much needed. I did do it once with the Acheron instead of Hatsit, but I couldn't replicate the run. Either way, this is the team that we are going to be using. The main idea here is you just stack marksmen because you need a lot of marksmen. You want to have a strong, capable piercer if you can. Ideally, single target. And I would recommend, if you don't have a Silas, to use a Yovar, to use a Hex, to use a Calypso, to use a Yuri, to use a Talon, to use really anything. Now, you do want physical damage. You don't really want to go with magic damage, but you might be able to squeeze out something. Either way, I have seen Brienne get used by the other guy instead of Silas. I could not make it work personally. Next, Hatsit once again. Any invisibility unit works fine. Yuri's there just to do strong DPS. Once again, can be replaced by Brienne. There's not enough epic marksmen to really make it possible to do no legendaries, so you do have to have 1 legendary marksman minimum, if not more than 1. Araka is the Lord. She also was very, very helpful as a ground unit, which is very nice. And then Maul did almost nothing. And Hollow, Lily healing. Mari very important for the slows. And Solde just to boost Maul's damage. She barely did anything. Probably can be swapped out. But super quickly, these videos take a long time to make. If you want to support the channel and support videos like these, the best way to do it is to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Helps me out a ton. But I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. Let's get back to the video. Immediately after we load in here, we're going to use our strongest single target DPS. What we're going to see is on the right, we're going to get 2 very strong, very bulky enemies. These guys deal 50,000 damage a hit if they go to any ground units. They spit at platform units if there's no ground units, and they have a ton of HP. So we're just going to Silas ult, kill one as soon as possible, then place down Idril, as well as Lily for healing. Then on the bottom left, we're going to do Yuri, we're going to do Mari. Facing up, Yuri's going to be facing left. And we're going to use Yuri ult to try to clear these guys as much as possible while using Mari ult as soon as it's up. Now we're going to place down Araka immediately. She does have her exclusive gear, which allows her to start with a ult. I don't know if it's completely necessary or if you even need to use Araka, but personally I struggled a little bit without. I think if you use your Hatsit ult, you should be fine without Araka, but Araka worked for me, so that's what I'm using. Then we have Idril ult going here just to kind of help clear things. We play Silas as soon as he's ready. And then keep in mind that we're keeping down Araka. Now, once again, if you're using Hatsit, you may be able to use her instead and just keep her down. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, Idril needs a little bit of help. We don't have any inspiration on this team, so we need all the help we can get when it comes to DPS. Silas ult as soon as one of those big guys comes in the top left. And as soon as you finish the wave on the bottom right, you're going to pull your Araka. Now, when these guys come in and they start to speed through the map, you can leave it. As long as you have the healers in this formation, you're going to be completely fine because everyone's just going to be healed back up. Here I got a little bit confused for a bit, I will admit, but we just kept it going here. As you can see, just keep trying to follow the timings. It's really hard to talk over this considering this is a pre-recorded thing, so I could not talk during. Anyways, as you can see in the top right, as soon as that little guy comes out, we're going to put Hatset down, and we're going to ult as soon as possible. I recommend facing her to the right. I faced her up on this one. It doesn't really matter too much. Either way, we want to burst them down as fast as possible because they spawn a lot of minions, and the minions are very, very problematic. So we're just going to keep things going here. Maul in the middle. He barely did anything, but you could do that if you would like. We're using Yuri, we're using our ults to try to clear the waves as best we can. Keep in mind that you have a Mari ult on standby, and you have a couple units in your roster that are not placed that you can place. Just keep in mind that we need a ground unit no matter what, very, very soon. So keep that in mind. Also, keep in mind that Idril is a good cleanup button. She can hit anywhere on the map. She's highly valuable for this, and is insanely, insanely useful. So she's going to be very, very, very nice for this stage. Now we're going to get to the stressful part, which is where we're going to get 2 waves on the left of these big, strong guys. So on the top, we're going to place down a ground unit. We're probably going to use a Soul Day right here. And this is to stall the unit out a little bit so that when Silas ults, he's actually going to kill both of them instead of just one. And then we just need to deal with the bottom. Now keep in mind they do spit at platform units, so if 2 of them stack up, they're going to continuously kill all of our units in sight. You have to be very mindful of that. Keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that the bottom right and the top right, we're getting more of those minions, more of those spawners. And because we have Maul, I'm just going to Maul ult here, have Hatset and Maul's basics deal with the guy most of the way, because I'm trying to save Hatset ult for the second set, and I do recommend doing that as well. Also, Hollow is about to die, but either way, just make sure that you're dealing with the top right with Hatset. As soon as the second guy comes out, you can ult with Hatset. Also, Mari ult, once again, freezes. There we have a rocket dealing damage in the bottom left. Yuri's doing some good damage too, and we're about to get Idril ult to help clean up. Hatset clears the guy in the top right. Idril clears the guy in the bottom right. We are looking really, really good. We have about 4 enemies left, and we have Idril ult, which essentially means that we have won. There's a lot of moving parts to this. I recommend just going back and slowing it down if you're having any issues. I think Hatset or any Invis unit is required. Not required. I mean, hell, I did it without one, with only 4 Legos. But either way, this is a very difficult stage, and if you have issues, don't feel upset about it, because this stage gave me a lot of problems. It's all about just tweaking your timings, tweaking your run, and making things work. Invisibility is key, and single target burst is key. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me just quickly go into the gear for you guys, and that should be most of it. Something I do have to note is this is for legendaries, and these are good legendaries too. Now, while no awakenings are needed, I do understand that this is an A5 Araka, which I did not notice. But I promise you it's not required. You could do it with an A0, or you could literally just use Hatset once again. So that's a mistake on my part. I did not even realize until it was too late. So sorry for that. Anyways, if anyone figures out how to do this with 1 Lego or 2 Legos, I do ask, maybe contact me on Discord, let me know how you did it, just in case I want to do a refined video. I will say Eliza makes this easy, and you can do it with less Legos if you have Eliza, but my perspective was Eliza is no longer obtainable, so I don't think she's really fair to use. I would rather use Legos than a unit you literally cannot get anymore, whether they were free or not before. Anyways, with the Raka, you just want to do DPS. As you can see, the left side doesn't even match up, which is a lot of damage loss. All you gotta do is you gotta have this Araka thing here. This makes it so that she has her ult immediately, or, once again, as I keep emphasizing, just use Hatset. Arachno Shroud, the ultimate, is garbage. This actually probably was useless for this. I would say Realm Terror, or really Frigid Flame, or anything else is better. Then we go over to Yuri. Yuri is in Soulbound. Same build as my Stage 6 guide. Check it out if you have issues. But essentially, However, built with a decent amount of HP. She doesn't need this much HP, but it's just what I had. Build her for more DPS if you want to have an easier time. Blight Collars is her best. Next, Idril has Infernal Roar. This is not the most insane Infernal Roar. I just slapped on attack mains. Most of these guys are in attack mains. And then you want to do Idril's Gaze as well. Going over to Lily, we have Wings of Grace. Just go for as much attack speed, and healing effect as you can. Your build does not need to be anywhere near as good as this. Also, some HP wouldn't hurt. Next, we get to Silas. Silas, I do recommend building with at least 23,000 HP if you're using a Lego Lord. Maybe a little bit more if you can. Otherwise, it really depends. If he's dying, put on more HP. That's it. Infernal Roar, just trying to burst things down. You could have a worse build and he should still kill everything easily. If you're using someone else, make sure to build him better. Going to Isolde, just Guardian. It doesn't really matter. We use her one time to stall out, and her build doesn't matter. Just as much HP and defense as you can. Mari's build is very important. You don't actually need that much attack speed. Now, obviously, the more you can get, the better. I put Morale just for a little bit of extra damage. I think you can do without, but I do recommend Morale anyways. You want to do like HP, attack speed here if you can, and then Rage Regen here if you can. Just go for attack speed, Rage Regen, and most importantly, over 30,000 HP after Lord bonus. This is more than I needed by a decent amount. It's just one of the enemies will hit you for 30k and then proceed to hit you for 8k on subsequent hits. You want to try to survive that with her, because she is under fire. Nightmare Samphara as well. Maul, just build as DPS as you can if you're going to use them, and Sharpshooter Crest. And then Hollow, we have Invig. You just want attack speed, Rage Regen, and some attack and HP if you can. She does die partway through, but she's still there for the support and the healing, and Euphoric Orb is very nice. Then Hatsit, Soulbound, of course, just as much damage as you can. I had Exclusive on. I actually think that Exclusive is worse than Shadow's Gaze. I think it's worse than Idril's Gaze, but either way, this is a good one. Reaper's Emblem might work. Maybe Blight Collars might work for this application. I'm not sure. Either way, Hatsit doesn't need a crazy build because she kind of bursts down what her role is immediately, very easily, without required gear. So that is the builds. I know the builds are pretty good, but still. This stage is hell. This stage is not meant for the average player. This is meant for people who are mid to late game, around there. So I hope this helps you guys. Once again, if I find something that makes this very easy, or even just much easier from now, I will try to make an updated video. But for now, I hope this helps. Hope you learned something and you're able to make substitutions to make this work for you. Best of luck, guys. See y'all in the next one. Destined signing out.